National Weather Service has placed Central Virginia under an ice storm warning.
There is a serious threat for power outages in the area.
They were shocked to see their power go out so soon.
I didn't know it was going to be this intense.
We prepare for every storm basically the same way. We make sure we have adequate inventory levels in place. We pre-stage additional crews to come in and be prepared to help us from day one. And we do that based on the anticipated damage.
On or about February the 5th, when we began seeing the forecast for Winter Storm Shirley, we knew that if ice accumulations reached 3/4 of an inch, there would be catastrophic damage.
You do it every day, you get your mind right. You have to have your mind prepared for this. You have to realize that we're going out here in, this inclement weather, this danger away from our families just to restore power.
When you hear about storms, when you hear about rain coming, anything, everybody should prepare ahead of time.
The ice storm that came through on the 11th wasn't severe, didn't cause any outages, but the ice was still in the trees on the day that the storm on the 13th hit. So the cumulative effect of both storms really created a lot of damage on our system.
We're from up north. I have never seen that much ice hanging on trees.
It was much more severe than had been forecast, and as a result, we had many more trees down than we would have anticipated earlier in the week.
Because of the tree damage, we had to cut our way through to get to certain locations.
Because of the severity of the storm, it knocked out 2 of 3 remote call centers that were located in other states.
On our side, we were, already looking at extended hours to assist the members. Losing 2 call centers in Tennessee and Texas were difficult for outages, but in order to adapt, the member service representatives in Virginia worked extra hours. We planned staggered schedule so that we would be covering more time and able to take more calls.
We looked for other ways to be able to communicate with our membership since the traditional ways weren't working, especially in the beginning of the storm restoration.
They were published on a website. You got it through your local news if you watched it. You could observe it through your window when the trucks were in service and going past the house.
I had an ongoing list of people, and if there was a crew in their area working, then I would monitor it and then follow up with them at the end of my shift every day to either let them know what the progress was or that their power was restored, especially if they had been displaced from their homes.
To handle this volume in this circumstance as well as they did, I think was really outstanding.
This storm is the most severe weather event that I've ever experienced in my 36-year career. Getting around our system due to the roads that were blocked from trees down and the wet conditions made this storm extremely challenging from a restoration effort.
We had mud, we had swamp holes, we had standing water, we had broken poles, wire tore down galore. We had a mess.
While taking calls, a tree actually fell through my house, and so it was a reminder that, it's not just about my electricity, it's about all of us as members.
We had 1,500 locations that had outages that were caused by trees, and 96% of those trees were trees that were outside of our legally maintained right-of-ways.
We had bulldozers and tractors pulling us in and out of locations because of the wet conditions. We would come around to find locations where there were tables set up and snacks and coffee for the line personnel. Southside Electric had about 860 additional outdoor employees that came from locations as far northwest as Indiana, as far south as Georgia, and states in between.
Crews come in from different states. I had the pleasure to work with a crew from Indiana.
We were very pleased to see Southside out here right away.
During our response, we were able to get 50% of our membership back on within 5 days and 90% of our membership back on within 10 days.
Well, safety's paramount to me because I grew up watching my dad go out and work storms at night. He was a lineman. And when you're young, you don't understand it. When I got to be a teenager, I realized just how risky his job was.
It's processes and protocols we have to go through to make sure we ourselves as employees are safe.
Southside Electric considers safety a core value. That's more than a priority because priorities can change from time to time.
During the storm, we had no major injuries and no confirmed COVID cases. Anytime we have a prolonged outage, you always want to see your members' lights on. We never want a member to be out for 1 minute, much less 13 days.
I was so motivated by what Southside and the other power companies that assisted us had done for us.
It was a relief for all of us. It was a relief for us, for the members. It was definitely something that we had been waiting for, and we were really happy that that happened.
In situations like this, people have to work together.
But neighbors were out there when we couldn't be there. They were supporting themselves while we were restoring power to them.
It was a complete and total effort by the community to support one another that helped us and our members get through this event.
The most exciting and rewarding part of my job is solving a member's problem. We were always trying to get their power back on as soon as possible, and we were working hard around the clock to do that.